Alright, if you listen to underground music, you're either on two sides of the spectrum. You either find an artist who's somewhere around 50k to 100k monthly listeners, and you know you really respect their music, and you don't care if they blow up bigger than that, but you would like to see them blow up bigger than that. Or you're on the other side of the underground, which is, I think, most people, and damn near a lot of the underground, where you find artists at 50 to 100k monthly listeners, and your limit for them to blow up is 300k monthly listeners. And once they get past that, you think that they're mainstream, you don't want to blow up, you don't want people to find their music, you don't want to listen to them no more. And I'm sure a lot of you guys could agree with me. And I'm not sure why the underground community is like this, where we don't want our artists to blow up more or want them to get as much exposure. But I could understand it, because when a lot of these artists blow up, they get involved in a lot of weird things, and they get like a weird circle, and just like a whole bunch of negative stuff. But we should always want the people who we listen to grow and expand their fan base. But with that being said, it's not very common for a lot of these underground artists to blow up to that extent, even reaching 1 million monthly listeners or even past that. And I don't think that there's one said reason why they aren't blowing up past 100k monthly listeners or 300k monthly listeners or reaching that 1 million monthly listeners mark. I think it's like a bunch of things that combine into just like, just one big reason. So in this video, I'm going to be going over what I think is stopping a lot of underground artists from blowing up to that extent, to that 1 million monthly listeners and above margin, and what I think that they could do to change that. But before we get into the video, if you guys do like any of my other previous videos, or if you guys haven't seen my other previous videos, please go do yourself a favor, check them out. I feel like a lot of them might pique your interest. And if you guys do like them, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, because it does show a lot of support to me, and it tells me that you guys actually do like the content that I'm putting out. And if you guys have any recommendations for any other videos that you guys want to see, leave them down in the comment section, because I'm making these videos for you guys and for my enjoyment. But other than that, let's get into the video. So in the underground, we have a lot of different types of artists who make a lot of different genres of music. We have Plug and B, we have Jerk, we have Dark Plug, we have Perk 40 Beats, and many more that I cannot fit to name right now. But we all know that the underground is a very diverse community. We have a lot of different types of artists, a lot of different types of sounds, and a lot of different types of gimmicks and or images. If you're a fan of that fast-paced kind of dancey music, you could listen to artists like Xavier So Bass. If you're more of a fan of that kind of Dark Plug, X-Rage kind of music, you could listen to Osam Stutter Netspend. Or if you're a fan of that more melodic type of easygoing sound, you have artists like 1AM and Sofago. So I don't think that the issue is finding an artist for your ears or something that fits your genre, but I think one of the biggest issues that prevents artists from going up is just specifically how the music is presented. Because yes, we do have a lot of mainstream artists like Future, Young Thug, who utilize auto-tune and these very punchy 808s and these very, unique sounding songs. But if you were to listen to an Osama Sun sound or an Osama Sun song, the 808 is very grungy. It's very it's not as crisp. It's not as, presentable, I would say. The 808s are very exploded. There's a lot of VFX in the middle of the song. It's a lot of different experimental stuff. And to the average person's ears, that's gonna sound like garbage, let's face it. We might like that type of sound. The underground community has grown accustomed to that sound because we've heard it for so many years, or we have so many different artists that utilize those same things that blow them up in the underground. But if you take someone like who's on the street, if they listen to this, they're probably gonna call it garbage or just like a bunch of noise, because it's not as presentable to their ears. Like similarly to when other artists from past generations like Playboi Carti, Lil Uzi Vert, Young Thug, when they were blowing up, people were calling their music mumble rap. Like people couldn't understand it, and they grew to understand it. But I think now with this newer wave of underground sound, it's not going to be as easy for people to just hear it and like it, because it's way more than just, a couple of slurred words or a couple of mumble raps. It's really elevated into a bunch of gunshot VFX, a lot of different types of 808 patterns, a lot of different types of beats, a lot of different types of references. So things like that, the mainstream is nowhere near accustomed to, and I don't see it happening within the next few years, next 2-3 years. But that would, and I wouldn't go interact with that artist or their music as much. And that was a kind of weird example because that has not happened to 1 a.m. at all, or I would say yet. But to put into a more real world perspective, Osama Sun's fans are the worst case of this. Because recently we had something blow up about Osama Sun that was really personal. It blew up on Twitter specifically. And the tweet got millions of views. His fans blew it up across basically all social media platforms, making videos about it on TikTok, leaving weird comments on YouTube pages. At his shows, they were wearing t-shirts about it. And that is not a good way how to, broadcast your favorite artists. Because it might be funny for the community, but if you take someone who's never heard this music before and now they're seeing a leak about it, that's not going to entice them to go listen to the artist's music or go tap into anything pertaining to that artist, because they're just going to find it as weird. And they might think that that's just how the artist operates, And some people might be thinking, oh, it's just a joke, it's this, that, and the third. But that's how the real world operates. People do not look further into something that they don't want to see more about. If you see something bad, people are not going to go looking for the good in that. They're just going to look at the bad side of it and completely shut it out. So I think those things and things that people post about artists really do have a substantial effect on their career. And I feel like the underground needs to find some type of middle ground or just stop it completely. Like, it's always fun to joke about certain things, but if we're going to joke about it to the point where it actually hurts the artist's career and prevents them to being at heights where we think that they should be, we should honestly stop promoting that as a community as a whole. And for my final reason, I think one of the biggest reasons as well, counteracted with the other two reasons, is gimmicks. The underground is filled with gimmicks, whether it be from how an artist portrays himself, to the beats that they rap on, to just anything. Anything could be counted as a gimmick. Whatever you associate with that artist could be their gimmick. Like jerk beats with Xavier So Based, or Netspin being a white rapper, or Yapo JJ being a jerk rapper. It's whatever gimmick you could put hand in hand with an artist, I think really could kill their career. Not kill it, but hurts it, because people will look at that and just see them as their gimmick and not for their art or the music that they're putting out. Like, you could have an artist that puts out really good music, but then they're classified as a TikTok rapper. Like, one of my favorite artists who just released an album, Rex V2. I see him going way up in the underground. Do I see him going mainstream? No, because people label him as a TikTok artist or TikTok rapper. So, it's little gimmicks like that that really do hurt artists' careers, or just kind of bottle caps them, because people hate to look past gimmicks, and people will not look past gimmicks. And that's just what it is. Like, there's no real way to break out of your gimmick, but I think the only way that you could help it is just release good music. All the things that I talked about in this video could be counteracted by just releasing good music, grinding, and kind of keeping your head down from all the hate. And we've seen Osama Sun do this, we've seen Netspin do this, we've seen Xavier So Based do this. And those are kind of the top three pillars of the underground, but they've all been hated on in multiple different ways. Whether it be from, leaks, whether it be from their appearance, whether it be how their music sounds. They all have been hated on. But, this is just kind of what I think about underground artists and how they can't blow up or why they won't blow up. But I'm more interested on hearing how you guys think of this topic. Why do you guys think most underground artists don't surpass 100,000 monthly listeners or 1 million monthly listeners? What do you guys think is the issue? But yeah, this is just my little yap chest. If you guys like the video, please do like the video. Please subscribe. Check out my other videos. I'll link a few in the description. And yeah, love you guys. Stay safe. Eat food, drink water. Peace.